Okay, so good day everyone. So welcome to the TPCC 10. This is my updated entry. So on this entry, okay, first let us discuss what is TPCC 1 and your subject matter. So TPCC 1 is it talks about CE laws, contracts, and ethics. So under this subject, it covers the implementing laws related to engineering construction from applying permits, prescribed measurements according to function, use and safety, procurements and bidding of contracts, and professional ethics to be observed. So our grading system for the subject matter will be examination is 50%, quiz is 30%, requirement is 10%, then we have a seat work equal to 10%. So all in all, we have 100%. So the first law that we have to discuss for today is the National Building Code of the Philippines, or known as the NBCP. So in some aspects, the National Building Code, also known as the Public Act 6581, and also it is known as the Presidential Decree number 1096 by President Ferdinand E. Marcos to adopt the National Building Code, or the RA 6541, due to the country's accelerating economic and physical development, which coupled with urbanization and population growth from time to time. So if we talk about the progress of every certain town or location or area, so kailangan natin meron tayong sistema ng pagbabasihan ng ating construction, no, when it comes to land use. No? So pangit kasi yung kung mag-conduct tayo ng city planning, so yung pwestuhan kasi ng yung mga building natin based on their occupancy and land use dapat babagay din, no? Magkabagay talaga sila. So sakali meron tayong building na school building. So as you can see, the school building is di natin dapat ilagay itong school building doon mismo sa may maingay na lugar, no? So each type of building, meron din silang mga tinatawag natin na requirement or restrictions, no? Kung ano dapat yung type na land use ang para sa kanila, no? So di rin naman natin pwede na itabi yung residential areas or residential building areas doon sa may cemetery o ano ba kasi may contamination doon kasi sa groundwater, no, or sa mga dam site. So ganun talaga, no. So itong Republic Act 6564, ito yung magsilbing guide, no? Especially doon sa growing LGU. Okay. So yung i-discuss natin ngayon is yung chapter 1 at chapter 2 at chapter 3 lang muna. So itong chapter 1, so it covers the declaration of the policy of the state to safeguard life, health, property, and public welfare. So yung scope and application of this code shall apply to all engineering activities such as design, location, seating, construction, alteration, repair, maintenance, etc. And must seek first the approval of this code by the building official. So lahat ng uh, construction or engineering activities dapat merong approval doon sa building official. So the general building requirements includes the safe construction, especially on-site requirements in order to have an adequate environmental safeguard, whether the environment will affect the building or the building will affect the environment. So sa kuan kasi, yung pag-construct natin ng building, gaya ng sabi ko, dapat yung building na i-construct natin dapat babagay doon sa land use at saka sakali man itong land use na to yung lupa is protected area. So I think it is obligation of the building official to check, no, if it is ideal to construct a certain building doon sa may protected area, pero alam naman natin na protected, so talagang bawal talaga yon. So yung mag-implement talaga dito sa local government na domain, or let us say na sakop ng LGU, is the building official, no? Okay. So dito naman tayo sa chapter 2, the administration and enforcement. So this chapter covers the person in charge of the implementation of this code, which referred to as the Secretary of the Government Agency for Public Works, Transportation, and Communications. Well, sa current government natin ngayon is meron tayong secretary on the following agencies such as DPWH, DOTC or Department of Transportation and Communications. Meron din tayong DOTR. Well, depende kung sino sa kanila ang magiging appointed secretary to implement this type of uh, law, no? Okay. So under this, or let us say under this chapter 2, the secretary was hereby authorized to constitute and provide this department with highly classified professionals such as architects, engineers, and technicians who are competent on their expertise. Well, hindi naman talaga makakaya ni secretary na siya lang yung mag-implement ng batas na to. So dapat meron siyang mga kasama na mga qualified professionals, no? Tulad ng arkitekto, inhenyero, and iba pang mga competent enough sa kanilang expertise. Okay. So this chapter also includes the power and functions of the secretary to carry out the provisions of this code, including the designation of building officials from district, city, and municipal level. So gaya ng sinabi kanina na si secretary is hindi niya kayang implement itong batas na to kung wala siyang mga katulong. So yung mga tutulong sa kanya na mag carry out ng batas na to, itong National Building Code is ga-appoint siya ng mga building officials in every district, city, and municipal levels. Okay. So, kung pag-usapan natin ang qualifications of a building official, so sino ba yung mga qualified o kwalipikado sa pag-apply o pagiging o let us say ma-appoint sa pagiging building official? Unang-una, dapat siya ay Filipino citizen with good moral character, then duly registered architect or engineer. So specifically, that would be civil engineer kasi walang iba naman sigurong engineer na parang parallel doon sa profession ng architect. No? Then a member of good standing of a duly accredited organization of his profession, not less than 2 years. So in a part of the civil engineer, well, wala akong background doon sa architect, but doon sa civil engineer, so that would be the Philippine Institute of the Civil Engineers, so yung PICE, no? Okay, so doon naman tayo sa huli, no, na requirement or qualification sa pagiging building official. So has at least 5 years of diversified and professional experience in building design and construction. So at least at nakahawak na siya ng mga project na iba't ibang klaseng proyekto na it could be institutional, vertical, or horizontal type na structure o anong klaseng na project, no? Okay, ang pangit naman siguro kung dito sa building official ka tapos yung experience mo is puro ka lang residential building. So dapat diversified, no? So iba't iba tayong klase na parang occupancy ng building na nahawakan mo na or na-construct mo na, no? Or saan ka na klase na project involved, no? Anong uring klaseng project. Okay. So the duty of the building official is to implement this code at their respective authoritative level to inspect, approve, or disapprove, issue, and penalize based on the compliance and restrictions of this code. So si building official, yung binigyan ng power para mag-implement ng batas na to, no? Sa may authoritative level. Sakaling sa city siya, so diyan siya sa city na level, sa district, no? Okay. So based on based on his or her domain, no? Okay. Next, dito naman tayo sa chapter 3. So if we talk about chapter 3, so pinag-usapan dito yung permits and inspection. Now, dito sa section 301, so the building permits. So ang requirement ng pag-apply ng building permit is pag-usapan natin mamaya. So under this section, so no building or structure can be erected, constructed, altered, repaired, moved, converted, or demolished without first obtaining a building permit from the local building official. So therefore, walang ibang engineering construction activities na magagawa kung walang approval mismo doon sa building official or yung mismong building permit kasi yung si building official kasi yung magbibigay sa ng permit, no? Okay, so kung walang building permit, walang ma-construct, walang ma-erect, walang ma-altered, walang renovation, walang ma-convert, walang demolition, no? So ganun talaga, no? So yung batas natin, so karamihan sa yung iba, madalas based on my experience, may mga let us say mga tao na nagko-construct talaga sila ng kusa ng building na walang building permit, no? Saka doon na sila maghahanap ng professional o ng engineer pag masita na sila ng building official. So sad to say, yung yan kasi yung parang nakaugalian na kasi noon na parang sila-sila na lang, no? Tapos yung iba nakikita natin sa social media na parang proud pa sila na nakagawa sila ng building na wala silang hinair na engineer, no? So dapat talaga, no, pag may construction, so dapat obtain ka muna ng building permit. Okay, sakali kung ano mang mangyari diyan, so at least may liability no, doon si nag-construct, no? Okay. So ano ba yung mga exemptions doon kung di na kailangan ng permit, no? So kung sakali ay kung yung structure mo ay made of indigenous materials or let us say indigenous family dwellings and other minor construction lang, so pwede siya maging exemption, no? O pwede na walang building permit. Pero may detalye tayo diyan, no? Mamaya. Or kasi sa mga kasunod pa ng mga chapter. Okay? So, pag-usapan naman natin yung section 302. So, ito yung applications of permit. So, ano ba yung mga requirements sa pag-apply ng building permit? Una, pag pumunta kayo ng engineering office, bibigyan kayo ng form. Under doon sa form, dapat nakalagay doon yung description of work to be performed, kung anong klaseng proyekto yan. Let us say new construct na building, kung renovation ba yan, no? Or let us say demolition. So yan yung description, no? Tapos maliban pa doon, yung occupancy, no? Yung occupancy ng building, kung ano ba yung type ng building, kung residential ba yan, institutional, no? Iba pa, no? So yung occupancy, itatalakay natin sa susunod pa ng mga chapter. Okay. So next is yung certified true copy of the land title, no, of the property. So based on my experience, so it is required na yung nakapangalan doon sa titulo is parehas doon sa yung nakapangalan doon sa owner ng building na i-construct. Kung sakaling mang kung hindi parehas yung pangalan ng may-ari ng lupa doon sa i-construct na building, at least meron silang lease agreement or let us say deed of sale, no, na nagpapatunay na yung lupa is na transfer na or sa kanya na talaga, no? Okay. So ang susunod naman is yung estimated cost of the project, no? So let us say yung bill of materials. Okay, kasama doon sa estimated cost of the project ito yung huli, no, at pinaka-importanting requirement, yung 5 set of plans, no? 5 set ng plano. So dito sa batas na to, okay, ito yung parang general, no, na requirement. So 5 sets, no? So sa every set is binubuo yan ng architectural, structural, electrical at saka plumbing. So each part ng ating plano is dapat pirmado at silyado ng mga professional, ng qualified professionals, no? Tapos parang i-reproduce mo yan. So gawin mo 5 sets, no? So 5 sets yung isa-submit mo, no? Kasama doon sa mga ibang requirements, yung yung form, no? Form of application, tapos yung certificate of title, tapos yung bill of materials. So, yan yung mga importanteng dokumento. Then after that, permits are processed under administrative control of the building official and their technical staff. So compliance of zoning, structural design, sanitary and environmental safety, and other regulations must be ensured. So unang-una talaga na para ma-approve yung building permit mo, so dapat i-comply mo muna doon sa zoning. So unahin mo muna yung zoning. So once nga ma-approve na sa zoning, doon ka na pwede mag-process doon sa building permit. So, yung sa zoning, it takes mga 1 day pa yan kasi magkuhan pa yan sila, no? Parang pupuntahan pa nila yung lugar, no? Kung totoo ba yun, existing ba yung lugar na yan. Tapos naman, doon naman sa pag-apply ng building permit, before sa'yo ibibigay sa'yo yung building permit, so magkakaroon pa rin yun ng inspection. Kung sakali yung building na i-construct mo is baka nasimula na yon na walang na permit, so posible na magkakaroon kayo ng penalty, no? Okay. So next naman is the issuance of building permit. So yung building officials, or let us say the building officials issues the permit within 15 days after the applicant pays the required fees provided all conditions are satisfied. So kung sasabihin natin na bayad ka na, no, sa pag-apply doon sa building permit, no. So mag-wait ka na within 15 days bago ma-release sa'yo yung building permit. Okay. So partial permits may be issued for proportions of the project if plans for the entire structure are not yet complete, no? So meron din naman tayo mga special permits na i-grant si building official. So based on my experience, yung minsan kapag may hinahabol ka na deadline para sa pag-construct ng isang infrastructure, sakali na parang let us say yung sakali malaking project, no? Parang time time conscious yan, no? So parang Olympics, no? So let us say Olympics. Tapos gagawa ka ng Coliseum, no? Infrastructure. Tapos may hinahabol kayo na deadline na parang gagawin yung yung Olympics, pero dapat yung project nyo dapat simulan na agad. So ang gagawin nyo, magbibigay kayo ng parang o magsusulat kayo ng permission na sasabihin nyo doon sa building official na dapat simulan na itong project, no? On this day, tapos ilalagay nyo kung ano yung reason bakit nyo kailangan simulan agad yung project. Kasi sa totoo talaga, bawal talaga simulan yung project na wala pang building permit. Pero kung on process naman yung permit nyo, i-allow yan ni building official, not unless kung meron kayong parang letter or parang usapan ba, so sasabihin natin, excuse letter ba, na, na parang mag humingi ka ng pahintulot na pwede simulan na yung project kahit on process pa yung building permit, no? Okay. So next naman is kung sakaling ma-approve yung building permit o meron ka ng building permit, so yung construction or maging valid lamang yung building permit mo for about 1 year, no? So valid yung permit mo within 1 year. Tapos mawawala lang yung visa ng building permit mo kung ma-stop mo yung project mo within more than 120 days. Or let us say parang natenga, no? Natenga yung project mo. Sakali, karamihan sa mga rason pag natenga yung project, pag wala ng budget, no? So pag matenga na yan, so manala and void na yung permit mo. So ang gagawin mo is magpapasa ka naman ng bagong or mag-apply ka naman ng bagong permit. Okay. Next naman is a defective permit does not exempt the holder from making corrections or halting operations if violations are found. Then, at section 306, non-issuance, suspension, or revocation of building permits. Okay, posibleng mabawiin or let us say Mawalang bisa yung building permits mo kung ito yung mangyari, no? So, aside doon sa naunang sinabi na doon sa validity ng permits, so pwede din siya masuspended, ma-denied, or ma-revoke, no? So, ito yung mga karamihan sa mga rason. Okay, una is errors in plans and specifications. Kung may meron makitang mali, no, doon sa plano at saka specifications na sinubmit ng engineer. Tapos doon naman kung may nakitaan sila na false or incorrect information supplied. So let's say for example, yung pagdating doon sa site development plan, iba yung forma ng lote, no? Or let's say iba yung vicinity map, no? Or may iba talaga doon sa ibang impormasyon doon sa drawing, no? Then, violation of the code on its regulations. Tulad ng, let's say, hindi nasunod yung setback, no? Or mga required ng building official, kung let's say, kung commercial building yan, so may isa din sila sa mga requirement doon. Parang conscious doon sila sa PWDs, no? So, dapat maglagay ka ng mga ramps. No? Kung wala yun, pwede nila i-null and void yung permits, no? So, written notice with reasons for the action must be provided. So, na galing doon sa building official. So, para masabi nila na ano yung bakit na-revoke yun or na-suspend yung building permit mo. So, maggawa sila ng or mag-submit sila sa iyo ng written notice. Okay. So, kung sakaling ma-deny man, no, ang iyong mga na-deny ang iyong pag-apply ng permits or let's say meron ka ng permit tapos na-suspend tapos na-revoke, okay, meron kang 15 days na mag-appeal, no, file ng appeal doon sa Secretary of Public Works. Tapos, malamang in small scale na construction, so pwede ma-city lang yan kay building official. Pero kung pangmalakihan na yan na projects, so maaaring dadaan pa yan kay secretary, tapos yung secretary's decision mapunta pa yun doon sa Office of the President. Okay, so dito tayo sa section 308, inspection and supervision of work. Now, dito sa inspection, so the building official may inspect the building or its premises at any reasonable time. So, in any, let us say, any time, pwedeng mag-inspect ng surprise si building official, no? As long as at any reasonable time. So, pwede kayong parang mabigla, no? Biglang susulpot na lang si building official doon sa site. Tapos, when it comes sa supervision, so a licensed architect or civil engineer ma-supervise construction, no? Okay, either sa dalawa, no? Si architect or si civil engineer ang dapat mag-supervise sa construction. Huwag niyong gawing full-time doon si foreman, no? Si foreman kasi medyo depende sa kinuha mong foreman, okay sana kung meron talaga siyang profesyon na engineer, no? Pero hindi lang siya license. Yun nga lang, karamihan kasi na kinukuha na foreman is parang experience lang siya na mason or panday. Now, hindi dapat, gaya ng sinabi ko, na hindi dapat siya gawing full-time, no? So, dapat talaga, andun talaga nakatutok doon si architect or si engineer para sa mag-supervise doon sa construction. Tapos, kung doon sa construction site, dapat meron kayong logbook, no? Na parang magsilbing diary, no? Para i-record nyo kung kailan ang buhos, anong oras, tapos ano yung weather. Kasi parang kung sakali man, kung may mangyari doon sa building, no? Meron silang parang batayan kung sakaling gagawa sila ng mga investigation. Kung ano ba yung cause, bakit nag-fail yung building. Siguro, during that times na nagbuhos kayo, medyo maulan, so posible na na-compromise yung quality ng buhos, no? Okay. So, example lang yun, no? And submit is certificate of completion upon project completion. Now, kung sakali man na matapos na yung project o proyekto, si either licensed architect o civil engineer ay isasubmit niya yung logbook kasama yung certificate of completion na ginawa niya. Nagpapatunay na yung project ay kumpleto na. Tapos, dito sa section 309, once na-submit na yung logbook at saka yung certificate of completion, si si building official naman ay magbibigay ng certificate of occupancy. Okay, magbibigay ng certificate of occupancy. Mag-issue naman siya, no? Tapos, mangyari lang yon pag nagawa ni building official na mag-final inspection dun sa building. So, i-check ngayon for final inspection yung building kung sakaling finish na ba yon or nasunod ba yung plano, no? Okay. So, yung certificate ay dadating yung certificate of occupancy or may bibigay yan ni building official within 30 days, no? Okay, base sa code. Okay, so I think that's all, no? Para sa ating first session para sa National Building Code. So that would be the Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and the Chapter 3. So for next entry, so we will discuss the chapters 4, 5, and 6, no, for the National Building Code of the Philippines. Okay, so if you have questions and clarifications with regard to this topic that we discussed, so you may comment down below sa ating YouTube channel sa comment section. Tapos, like and subscribe na rin. No? Okay, right. So, God bless everyone.